You're not crazy. You are going through the motions, and you have a choice of how to deal with it. You could be like me and annoyingly check the social media and reopen the wound, or you take that time to really work on yourself and discover what it is that you can do for you to heal.
Gotta stop holding on, holding on.
Ooh, child, just when I thought that this whole saga was over, it is not. So if you're new here, hi, my name is Jane. I went through a breakup last year, and I finally felt like I was in a good place, healing, moving on, dating even. But I don't know, I guess it really solidified it for me today. I mean, it was already solidified, y'all. But, you know, we had been together for 2.5 years, almost 2.5 years. Broke up in August. He finally moved out in December. And today he has posted a picture of the two of them, which, you know, that I have been up and down about checking your ex's social media. You really shouldn't. Let me be the example of why you should not. If you haven't seen any of my other videos, you can see how bad it is. And, you know, it's just prolonging the healing, right? But to play devil's advocate, like, it's happening, right? And honestly, although obviously your ex is none of your business anymore, it's undeniable that, you know, you will always have some sort of like energetic connection until you have fully healed from it. And I will be first to admit, I'm not fully healed yet. I have been very open about that, even with the person who I'm currently dating now. And you know, it's just the truth of the matter, and I'm here to be real and authentic with you. Healing is not linear, right? Like, I have been so good up until the point that I saw that. And I am honestly, and I mean this with my entire heart, I'm very happy for him, because I know that things were not good between him and I. And I am a huge proponent of people finding their happiness. And even if that means that it isn't with me, even though I love the man and obviously I'm still trying to get over him, it would be doing a disservice to the both of us if I wasn't happy for him for finding his happiness. You know what I mean? It still hurts, but you can hurt and still be happy for them, still be grateful that you're obviously hurt about all this, because you know who they are as a person, you know what they've done for you. And yes, honestly, if you follow my social media, I have been presenting as, you know, upset or bitter, or, you know, like trying to just kind of make light of the situation. But it doesn't take away from the fact that this hurts and there's pain to heal from, because there was good, there was love, there was something to grieve over. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, I mean, I can't really compare it to losing a parent, but, you know, like, I know the best way that I can kind of compare it is just like losing somebody who, you know, wasn't great for you, but was still very important in your life, right? Like, even though, again, I don't think I could ever go back, because when it comes down to it, like, when I think about our relationship, like, is that relationship really something that I would want for the rest of my life? And the answer is no, for many reasons. We're both artists, and so we're constantly butting heads when it comes to like having each other's attention, this and that, where we both really have to like hone in on our artistry. And so both of us really need somebody who would just, you know, kind of watch and support. Maybe somebody that's not like as passionate, I guess, about their craft. I know that sounds really bad, but like, you know, I think everybody is talented. I mean, this is a whole nother tangent in and of itself. But like what I mean to say is it's like there are some people who are okay with being on the sidelines, who are maybe passionate about being behind the scenes, right? Because that's a craft in and of itself. And I feel like the person that my ex has found fits that category. You know, she's not forward presenting. She's not like out here on social media trying to, you know, show off or anything. Whereas like both him and I are that, you know, and so that kind of poses its own problems. And I say all of this to say that, you know, I can't be upset or mad about something that is essentially better for the both of us in the end, you know? And I keep trying to tell myself that because of course there are times where I wonder like, why couldn't he do the things that he's now doing for his current relationship for me? And I have to tell myself it's because we're two different people. We provide two different things. You know what I mean? Like, one of the things that I felt very strongly about, which I now realize could be a green or red flag to certain people, is that I will always see the best in you and expect you to bring that out. And I think sometimes I can be very aggressive in that approach. I was this man's biggest fan. Like when it comes to his music, I knew all the lyrics. I knew what he was capable of, and I would constantly nag him, right? Like, you should be doing more. You should really like be doing more with your music, because I believed in it that much. The problem with that is, you guys, is you cannot force anybody to do anything, even if you mean well, even if it's wanting them to share their gifts to the world. That is not our place to... My stomach, I'm hungry, I'm very passionate about this, clearly, but that is not our place to that's not our place to like push, you know what I mean? And I, in the moment, thought it was very endearing. I thought like, no, I just believe in you that much. Like, I'm so passionate about what you have to provide to the world. And sometimes that can be off-putting because, you know, especially for me being in the same boat, like when somebody is telling me that like, you need to do more and you need to put your gift out there, like, bitch, you don't think I'm trying? Like, I am trying. And so hearing somebody else say that to me, sometimes it can almost kind of come off offensive, because it's like you're kind of undermining my efforts, you know what I mean? And I feel like I really did that to him. And I find myself doing that even in, you know, my current situation. And I have to remind myself, like, dude, chill out. Like, you know, you can admire people, you can adore people to a certain extent, but like sometimes our love can be suffocating. And I realized that I did that to him. So, you know, I thought I was done. I know my last video, I was just like, yeah, I think I'm going to end it here. But I just wanted to pop on again and just, you know, say that it's not... Every time you think you're done, man, I don't know, something just keeps pulling you back. But I honestly do think that, you know, it's... We're always going to remember the people that touched us in some way, or that, you know, really affected our lives. It's just that, you know, him being my most recent relationship, it's still gonna, you know, sting a little bit. It definitely stings a lot less. It's not like, it definitely doesn't affect me as much as it did before. This, like, seeing him post his now girlfriend for the first time has kind of brought up a very visceral response that I haven't had in a while. And so I felt it was worth noting and sharing with you guys, you know, kind of what I'm doing to help minimize that pain and kind of reopening that wound, right? I mean, it was my choice to look, So that's on me. And I knew that going into it, that like if I look, there is a chance that I could reopen a wound. And, I did. And as much as it did, like, bring up that response in me, I'm also very happy. I really am. I truly am. And again, if you've watched my other videos, you know that I felt I had a huge part in our demise, and that there are a lot of things that I do regret in our relationship. And I'm just glad that despite everything that I thought I had done wrong, he's still able to open up his heart and find love again. Because, he told me before we broke up that he didn't think he could ever love again. And, in that moment, I thought that meant that him not loving again meant that, that I was the only one that he would ever love. And that's selfish, right? Like, that's not what I want. That's not healthy. And so, I'm glad that then thinking about it, like that was very selfish of me to think that I possessed him. You know what I mean? And then afterwards, then I thought about, I'm like, damn, if he really were to never be able to love again, I don't want that on my conscience. I don't ever want to like destroy anybody to the point where they can't love again. Who wants that, right? And so I try to tell myself that, it wasn't all bad. And he clearly is able to love even better now. Not only because of me, but because of the experience, but because of, experiencing what didn't work, so that he now knows what does work. And that goes both ways. That goes for me too. Because of what didn't work in our relationship, I now know like what I want, what I'm not willing to tolerate anymore, like pacing, timing, all of that I have learned. Like, I'm taking it so slow now with potential suitors, and I would have never done that had it not been for what I experienced in this last relationship, right? Like, even though it may have felt bad in the moment, it's now serving me well, because I'm learning to take my time and to really honor what it is that I want, instead of trying to make something out of nothing. You know what I mean? If you guys watch, again, some of my previous videos, I'm an avid thrifter. I'm the type of person that will see a piece at a thrift store and think that I can rejuvenate it, or, you know what I mean? Like, somehow improve it to work for me, right? But like, I feel like I've tried to maybe move that over to people, and it doesn't work that way, y'all. Like, you cannot fix people. You cannot change people to fit your needs. And that is a bad habit that I'm learning to break thanks to this last relationship. I am in a position now where when I date, I'm intentionally dating, I'm observing, I'm seeing who they are as they are. I haven't even really been sharing much like what I want out of a relationship, because I'm learning that giving that during your phase of dating allows gaslighters and manipulators and narcissists to take the script that you've given them and transform to that person, right? So that you can become their supply. I'm not doing that again. So I don't know if anybody needed to hear that or can take that as a tip. I have now learned to just like ask them, how do you love? What is your way of showing your love to somebody, right? I did recently post something about like wanting flowers, and I mean, that's not something that like I have really ever shared before, I guess. And it's not like, I want to be clear, it's not even necessarily about the flowers. And here I am breaking my own rule by telling you guys what I actually want. But I guess for me, it's like, I just appreciate romantic gestures. It doesn't have to be flowers. It just has to be something that you wouldn't normally do for just a friend, right? Like, that is something that I realize that I want and I like. Flowers just so happens to be the most, I guess, like, renowned gesture, right, that people can do to, I guess, display their love or affection. So now I try to observe, like, what is this person doing for me, if any at all, that's like different from what they do for their friends. I just recently was in a situation with a guy who I thought was courting me, or, you know, trying to date me. He was, you know, paying for my food whenever we went out on, you know, group outings or whatever. And he would like do things for me that I thought was sweet, right? Like giving me rides or just things like that, right? But what I failed to notice was that he was doing that for all our other friends, all, you know, girl, guy, whatever. And when I started to, you know, build feelings for this guy, and I confessed it to him, he told me that, like, he, you know, he was interested, but that he wasn't trying to pursue me, and that, you know, I misconstrued his actions for him just being friendly. And that was a lesson in it of itself, you know? So, like, now I'm kind of changing my outlook to be like, no, it can't just be sweet. He can't just get me flowers, because what if he just gets all the girls flowers, right? Then it's not a romantic gesture just for me. And so I'm learning to define what I want, and I'm letting people, I'm recognizing and observing who's doing that instead of me asking for it. Does that make sense? So yeah, I don't know. This was kind of a mix of an update and, I guess, like, lessons that I've learned since breaking up with my ex and allowing myself to finally date and share, I guess, kind of my experiences with that. And hopefully this helps someone. You know, this is what I'm trying to do. Again, this is not scripted or anything. This is me just being real and honest about what's going on in real time. So to anybody else who is back in the dating pool, who's trying to get over an ex, you'll get through it, I promise. It just takes time. And even when time has passed, it may still come up. You may still feel sad every now and then. But the more that I have been working on myself, and the more that you continue to work on yourself by, like, watching videos like this, it gets easier, right? Like, you start to understand how to deal with your emotions, how to manage your emotions, because that's really all it is. We're human. We're going to feel things. One day we're going to feel happy. One day we're going to feel sad. One day we're going to feel frustrated. Other days we're going to feel numb. And all of that is normal. You're not crazy. You are going through the motions, and you have a choice of how to deal with it. You could be like me and annoyingly check the social media and reopen the wound, or you take that time to really work on yourself and discover what it is that you could do for you to heal. Whether that's making videos like this, eating a good meal, hanging out with friends, petting your dog, whatever the case may be, this is your opportunity to learn what that is, discover it. And I'm proud of you. I'm proud of us. And, you know, we'll get through it together. So I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. And I may or may not see you in the next one, whenever that is, because we're just winging it and I don't want to force it. I'm just making content as I feel called to do. So I love you, and I'll See you next time. Bye.